Live from New York City, it's the Wendy Williams Show. Today, Mariah Carey causes backstage drama at the Rockefeller Christmas tree lighting. Wendy has the details. And her mother, her marriages, and her controversy. Brooke Shields is here, and we're getting stories from her new tell-all book. Plus, Nikki Hilton shows us how to dress like a Hilton with this season's best party dresses. Now, here's Wendy.
So good. And here we are again, together. Thank you for watching. Say hello to my co-host, my fabulous studio audience. They're from everywhere. You could be here too, the tickets are free. How you doing? I'm doing great. We've got a lot of ground to cover, so let's get started. It's time for Hot Topics. Thank you. So, thank you. I love you more. Thank you. Before we get started with Hot Topics, I quickly want to mention the Eric Gardner case going on here in New York. It's very, very sad. A shout out to his family, his 6 children. This is the man who was in Staten Island. If you're not from New York, you're probably still familiar with this case. He was killed at the hands of the cops, and it was videoed on a camera phone. So we saw the killing, yet the officer got off. A 2.5 hour deliberation the DA took yesterday. That included a lunch break in between. And all the man was doing was selling loosies. You know what that is. Instead of buying the whole pack of cigarettes, you buy one. And he said, and we saw it on the camera phone picture, I can't breathe. The chokehold was banned back in 1993. I don't know what part of the system the cops are playing by, but I don't think that this is a black thing as much as it is a cop thing. These cops, not all cops, but certain cops. We don't like you. Ugh. Anyway, let's move along. So, last night was the lighting of the Christmas tree at Rockefeller Center. Did you watch on TV? Yeah. Were you in town to actually go? Clap if you went. You didn't go? Well, there were thousands of people there, even though it was raining, and Mariah Carey caused a lot of drama at the tree lighting ceremony. Well, that's her at the tree lighting ceremony. We'll get to the ensemble in a moment. She was supposed to pre-tape her performance the night before, but she stood everyone up. The reason that they like to pre-tape Mariah is because Mariah is notorious for being late, like real late. So she kept the audience waiting last night. You know, they said, all right, well, you know, you're gonna perform. We're not gonna pre-tape you because she didn't show up. So she showed up last night while the live tree lighting was going on. She was already on the bill. She kept the audience and all those kids and all the lambs and all the, you know, people in Rocket. She kept everybody waiting for 3 hours in the rain and frigid weather here in New York. Her excuse was that she was on the telephone with Nick and the lawyers deliberating about custody with the kids. I don't believe that for a minute. You know what I think she was doing? I think that she was pacing back and forth, drinking her splashes of champagne in her house, perhaps feeling a little bit insecure about the obvious weight she's gained. Not that she looks bad, but we've got to look at the obvious, show the bigger picture. And you know how sometimes when you don't feel at your fittest, ladies, we all do this, men, you do it too. You pace back and forth. And then the more champagne she had, probably the more insecure she got. Just worrying her glam squad, like pull the hair down longer to cover things. Okay, does this dress make my butt look bigger? Whatever. 3 hours later, she shows up. You know what they told her? My, how times have changed. Because who says no to Mariah Carey? But look, they told her, you can go home. We don't need this kind of disrespect. But no, you can't send Mariah home. She's like Mother Christmas. This is the 20th anniversary of that song. All I want for Christmas is you. And so they said, okay, well, you can stay. After she begged him. You can stay, but we want you to perform now. And they threw her up there on the stage, and this is part of the outcome. Hit it. Oh, we can't hear her singing, but I can tell you this. I thought it was okay. But the reviews were very, very mixed. People said that she was horrible. I didn't think that she was horrible. I was more distracted by the photoshopping that she did. Do you remember the other day? Show the picture on the stoop. Here she is. Remember I showed you this picture during Hot Topics 2 days ago? And I said, look at Mariah, you know, this is from Thanksgiving, and clearly she hasn't, you know, she's not this big fatso that people are saying that she was. But I always forget that there's photoshopping on everybody's phone. I don't bother, because I always just figure you're gonna see me out anyway. When you do all that photoshopping stuff, it makes people say, oh my gosh, well, I saw her in the grocery store and she looked like, when I saw this, I'm like, oh my gosh. While she's still not a bad-looking woman, and this is not fat by any circumstance, it certainly is about 15 pounds up from this picture right here. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, Mariah, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. So, yesterday, I happened to have been over at Rockefeller Plaza because I taped the Meredith Vieira show. It'll play like next week, you know, but I taped her show. And I'm sitting on the set. You know, there's some downtime, you know, the audience is there, and I'm sitting on the set, and all of a sudden I hear, Wendy, Wendy. And I turn around, because the audience is this way, I turn around, and you know who it was? Hey, Hayward Nelson. Now let me tell you, and I must tell you, he's bald. I recognized him. No, I'm saying he's bald. We all age. Stuff happens. That's a recent picture. I recognized him right away. It was such a random run-in. I recognized him right away, and I hear you saying, okay, what was he doing there? Was he guest on Meredith? No, he's a stagehand on Meredith. Excuse me, that's what real men do. You know what? You take note, you actors and actresses and rappers with fledgling careers. Not working because you used to be famous is not hot, especially when you've taken a wife, by which he just told me, Hayward, that he got married on Thanksgiving. I know. And I say all that to say, I respect that he's working. A lot of these actors don't do that. And I also appreciated him coming up and saying hello to me as opposed to, oh my God, there's that big mouth. Let me hurry up and get out of here. So, how you doing, Hayward? And it was nice to see you. Did you hear about the Teresa story? Teresa's suing her lawyer, blaming the lawyer for sending her to jail. Suing the lawyer for at least $5 million. Claiming that the lawyer was negligent and he's the reason that she's going to prison. One common thread through all the years we've known Teresa through the TV, she's not really a woman to take responsibility for her own actions. Do you know what I'm saying? And here again, she's trying to blame somebody else. Now, there could be something to her story, you know, because, you know, the lawyer was supposed to fill out papers and file stuff and do stuff and report, like, the cars they have and things like that. But aren't you, as the owner of the stuff, the final people who sign off, you and your husband? Even if we don't understand everything that goes on with the law and taxes and stuff, we know enough to say, you forgot to put my Volkswagen down. Yes. You know, you understand what I mean? I don't know, you know, Teresa, I think that you need to look in the mirror as to who to blame, because if you and your husband weren't crooks. So, this is their last Christmas together, and she's going in for 15 months, and then when she gets out, I guess she'll be on probation. In the meantime, she wants to hire a gay male nanny or a chubby nanny so that Joe won't cheat. First of all, where are you getting money for a nanny? Don't you owe everybody and their mother, according to court papers? Second of all, I get that you don't, you know, that Joe might not be the most hands-on father, but a father's got to learn how to be a father at some particular point. So you need to have your husband take care of the girls. And call a cab when they need rides, being that he doesn't have a driver's license. Oy. In the meantime, Khloe Kardashian wants to keep up with her sister. She wants to pose nude for Playboy. I'm shocked. I didn't know Playboy was still in existence. You know, the hard copy. I'm thinking you go online. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that she needs to do this. I mean, clearly, Khloe's got a reasonable body. Well, you really don't need to show us, number one. Number two, you want to see? How you doing? Girl. I think that with the sisters posing nude and doing all. I was disappointed when her behind started to inflate. You know, I'm just like, oh my gosh, she was the only one who wasn't like doing stuff, and now she's doing, like, I like the old Chloe. I don't like the actions of this new Chloe swigging out of champagne bottles and holding a gun. You remember the picture? She had like a AK-47 with French Montana in the club. Just don't do it, Chloe. You don't need, clap if you'd like her to do it. You're a pig, sir. In the meantime, I think that Chris will be the next one, probably, who poses. Whoa. She's about to celebrate a big milestone next year. She'll turn 60. Don't you think that a woman like Chris would do it by posing? We haven't talked about Johnny Depp and Amber, his fiancée, in a while. Well, it's a year since their engagement. They met each other and they fell hard. They were barely dating before they got engaged, but he's 51, and at 51, sometimes you know what you like. You don't need a whole long time. Problem is, she's 28, and she doesn't. What 28-year-old girl wants anything to do with a 51-year-old man unless it's a paycheck, of which she's got her own money? Look, I'm just saying. I mean, you know, as a 50-year-old woman, I could say, what 28-year-old man, other than a quick one-night stand or a week in Aruba, cares about being with a 50-something-year-old woman or man? Like, who cares? Really? And then what do you talk to them about? I guess you don't talk, right? So they're engaged. I told you he wears an engagement ring and everything. In the meantime, they stopped planning the wedding. Well, she reportedly isn't ready to settle down. Gee, you think? Gee. And, you know, not that Johnny Depp is a bad catch. All I'm saying is that when a girl is making her own business, she's got her own paper, she's got her own career, plus she's sexually fluid, which is challenging enough. You know, it's enough that when he squires her around town, you know, he's got to deal with other men looking at her and her looking at other men. But now the whole room is your smorgasbord? What a challenge, old man. Anyway, Johnny, stop being so, like, he reminds me of the type, just through reading the magazines, who's gonna end up chasing her off. Like, he's the nag. Where you at? What you doing? When you coming through? Who's that girl you with? I laugh so much on this show. Every day after the show, I have a stomach cramp. Every day. Lindsay Lohan, everybody, is doing a clothing line for men. No, it's not called herpes. It's called My Addiction. Why is she still playing? When is she gonna grow up? And what guys, well, I guess her beehive, or whatever she calls her super fans, what guys are wearing Lindsay Lohan clothes? Women didn't even wear the Lindsay Lohan leggings. That legging line lasted for 2 seconds. I don't know where it was available. I don't know where it was available, but she's trying to do something. How about try to stay sober and get back into acting? Okay, let's move along to Demi Moore. Well, we thought that she was single and kind of depressed because, you know, she's no longer with Ashton, then Mila had the baby. Although, sidebar, I'm hearing that Demi will not leave Mila alone. Constantly calling and, you know, dropping by. I guess they have to look through the blinds and say, oh my God, it's her again. Duck. At your house, you ever duck on the floor and snake across because you see somebody outside you don't like? Oh, come on, we've all done that at least once in our lives. You don't want them to see your shadow past the curtains. You know, you realize that it's them and you snake across the floor. Anyway, it turns out Demi is not depressed at all. She's still with that 27-year-old drummer boyfriend of hers, Sean Friday. Now here we go again with that old young thing. Now she's 52 and, by the way, looks terrific. And he's 27. But here's the thing. I don't think that at 27 years old, he's thinking like Amber and Johnny. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not thinking a 27-year-old man wants to get married. I'm thinking he's having fun in Aruba with his old cougar. Do you know? You know, he might have caught feelings for her now, like, I love you, but he's not looking to settle down with her. She's not having any more children. That shop has been closed. But Demi seems like a girl who'd be fun, you know, when she stops dealing with the Ashton thing, you know? She's got a youthful spirit and she's got that voice that sounds good on commercials. So imagine how husky and sexy it sounds in the morning. I mean, I don't have a lot of hips, but I couldn't go out with a man who has bigger hips than me. or smaller hips. Like, he's very, very skinny. I guess it's supposed to be smaller hips. Anyway, congratulations. Just in time for the holidays, everybody. Demi Moore is in a good headspace. I want to shout out to our friend Jimmy Fallon. It's time for a celebrity shout out. Hit it. Jimmy's wife, Nancy, that's Nancy. She looks frightened, right? No, don't be scared, Nancy. Congratulations, they just announced the birth of their second child. The baby was born via surrogate, and that's really nice. They kept the first baby a secret also, almost to the end. They had a baby girl, though, this time around, and her name is Frances Cole. Congratulations, Jimmy. Yeah. It's funny that I do these hot topics, because when it comes to my own personal business, I enjoy keeping a secret like a steel trap. So I have a secret to share with you. I've always secretly wanted to be cartoonized. Like, we watch all those shows at the house. We watch, you know, the South Park, and we watch the Family Guy, and we watch, you know, like, I love that stuff. And I don't say it because if it never happens, I don't want you saying, well, you always wanted to be cartoonized, and that didn't work out. So I don't like to tell people stuff that I want until after it happens. It finally happened last night. No, listen. I was on South Park. Take a look at this, look at this.
Hi, everybody, I love you.
Thanks for loving me, I love you too.
So I guess there's this new trend with young people, where the celebrities they look up to most are YouTube commentators. Just ordinary people who sit in front of a mic and blab their opinions about everything while their mindless loyal followers cheer them on. Isn't that crazy?